So what it do, guys? It's your boy Hallway Sniper here, bringing you guys another NBA 2K19 video. And today this is for all those Christmas newbies out there that just got NBA 2K19 on Christmas Day, or maybe you got it, open your presents on Christmas Eve, I don't know. But anyways, guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this video. Before we get into this video, guys, make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and let's just go ahead and jump right into the video. So as you can see, I already started the video off where my defensive settings are already being ran through, and I'm going to have the defensive settings listed down in the description down below. So if you can't keep up with the video, just look down in the description below. But I'm going to go into detail of each individual defensive settings in this video, and why I have it set to a certain setting. Now if you don't believe these settings will work, I do kind of have something to vouch for myself, where I have two defensive settings videos which are almost at 30 plus each. One is at like 45k and one is at around 27k ish. So these defensive settings work. These two vouchers are from last year's NBA 2K18 defensive settings videos that I did last year, and those settings work perfectly. Now these settings are a little bit different. They are similar kind of, but they're just a little bit tweaked to the NBA 2K19 defensive programming. So the programming for 2K18 and 2K19 are obviously different for the computer if you have played the game, obviously. So in NBA 2K18, you easily could just get blow by animations on anybody. If the user was guarding you, the CPU was guarding you, it really didn't even matter. But in NBA 2K19, the CPU, in the beginning, the defense was just so overpowered for computers, to be honest. You really didn't have to make any defensive settings, just played off ball. But now it's a little bit toned back, but the computer still has good defense, and it's easier for the user to play defense as well. So these settings that I'm going to be showing you today are the settings that I use, and I'm going to be showing you a little bit of clips on how I play defense online and what to do basically in any defensive setting. I keep my on ball tight and my off ball tight. Reason being, I keep my on ball and off ball tight because if you're playing, say you're playing off ball, right? So for your on ball tight, you're basically, this is for if you're off ball at any time trying to, maybe you're putting somebody in position that's off ball, or you're putting somebody in position that's not in the position they're supposed to be in, or you're trying to switch somebody. So the on ball person is going to make the computer play up tight on them at all times, and a lot of times you will get steals because of how NBA 2K19's computer programming is basically for the defensive side of the ball. So that goes for the same thing for the off ball. So when a lot of the times you're supposed to be playing on ball defense anyway, because it's, to be honest, on ball defense in NBA 2K19 is way better than playing off ball and deferring to the computer, because the computer can get cooked really easily. But the off ball pressure, you put it to tight just so that it won't be a lot of help, especially since I'm going to tell you to turn off help anyway. So when you put it to tight, they're always going to be guarding them tight like this. So when they try to pass the ball to somebody, maybe they made a bad pass or they made a cross-court pass, that the computer is likely to go for the steal because the ball is right in their proximity. So it's easier for them to get the steal once you have the off-ball pressure tight, especially even if they catch the ball. A lot of the times the computer will reach as soon as they catch the ball, and you know how NBA 2K's steal system is when it comes to that. If you play NBA 2K19, for those new players, just listen to me. I'm telling you, just listen to me. Now, I do force direction to the baseline. You can force it to the middle or baseline depending on how you like to play. It really doesn't matter, because if you force it to the middle, you can manually force them to the middle or to the baseline, or if you put it to baseline, you could manually force them to the middle or the baseline. So it really doesn't matter. Just make sure you put it to either middle or baseline. Just don't leave it on auto, because then the computer won't force them anyway. Either way. So you want to force your person, say you're in a quick ISO, you want to force them to wherever your help is from the computer. So if there's no help to the baseline, force them to the middle, and vice versa. So force the man to your help at all times. Now for your on ball screen and your hedge, and your on ball screen center hedge is going to be the exact same. It's going to go under and catch hedge for hedge, and then go under and catch hedge. The only time you will ever go over is if you're playing someone like a Steph Curry, where they can come off the screen and hit moving contested 3-pointers. That's the only time I want you to go over. Curry, maybe Klay Thompson, people like that, they're like, their moving three has to be high. That's the only players I want you to go over on the screen. But always do catch hedge, because it is easy to stop the pick and roll. not like 99.9% of players that play 2K, all they run is pick and roll. They don't have offensive sets. Like most of the people online that you're going to be playing, most of your friends, they don't have offensive sets. So why do you need? You don't need to do anything else but catch heads. Just listen to me. You know why? Catch heads is great to force the opponent into mid-range jump shots. Not a lot of 2K players shoot mid-range jump shots, but I mean, it's easier to step up and contest that mid-range jump shot than it is to try to stop someone from picking, rolling, and then they get a wide open center in the paint. Or maybe you do end up stopping the pick and roll, but the center catches the ball right under the basket. They're so far pinned under the basket, they're most likely to score. And when you do this, you always, whenever there is a pick set and you have these settings put on, play off the ball. So if you're playing as the point guard and he gets a pick set on him by the center, go to the shooting guard, go to the small forward, go to the four, anybody else but whoever's getting picked on or the center, because the settings won't activate. The settings will always activate if you're not playing it, because basically your defensive settings are for your computer to do things that you want it to do. It's basically programming tell your computers to do what you want them to do, if that makes sense. So when you do this, whenever there's a pick set on you, go off ball until the pick gets nullified. Then you can go back to playing on ball defense. Who likes to shoot threes, like maybe a Ryan Anderson, a Karl Anthony Towns. Make sure you put stay attached on, but in my settings I keep stay attached to automatic because I don't want them to stay attached at all. Only do it to people that are shooting threes, and don't do it just because they can't shoot threes. Only do it when you start to see them shoot threes, because when you do stay attached and you have all these other settings, it can mess up everything. Now for your off ball screens, that's going to be automatic. For your post, go 3/4 bottom or 3/4 tops. Either one is better. Just don't go straight bottom or straight front, because either you could throw it ahead or they can get pinned, things like that. 3/4 bottom is easier for getting steals, or 3/4 tops is easier for getting steals. So switch rules, keep that to auto. Reason being, I don't want to switch guards and I don't want to switch bigs, because sometimes it can get confusing, because sometimes your big will switch to a guard even though you have switch guards on and not switch bigs, and then it's just a lot of mixed matches. So you don't want to switch. No switches, just switch auto. That way they rarely ever switch. Never ever put pre-rotation on. Never ever put pre-rotation on. Never ever put pre-rotation on. The reason being, pre-rotation is basically saying a pick and roll is set on the right side. Alright, on the right side. The man all the way in the left corner will come over and not guard that man that's sitting in that corner, and he will step in the middle of the lane. Now it looks good for help defense, but that man in that corner will be wide open every single time, and there's no way you're going to get back fast enough to even be able to contest. Maybe if you switch to a person that's closest and then try to contest, but then their person's going to be open. So just leave pre-rotation off. It's just a terrible setting, to be honest. Now for your screen help rules and drive help rules, you're going to put it to no help, no help. Reason being, because I don't want the computer to help when I don't want them to help, basically. So you have to manually help. You're going to have to manually do everything. On-ball defense is the best way to play defense in NBA 2K19, in my opinion, especially when people have overpower like LeBron James or Kevin Durant or people of that nature. Now the only thing I do want you to change is you're going to have to go into the individual players, and you're going to go to your 4 and you're going to go to your 5. You're going to go into your individual players, and you're going to go into your 4-man, and you're going to go to the 5-man that you're going to be playing defense on. And you're going to change your drive help rules to automatic and your screen help rules to automatic. Reason being, because those are the only people I want them to help off of. Those are the only people I want them to help off of, because most likely they're not in corners trying to shoot 3-pointers, because there's no more 5-out offense, if you notice. So they're always going to be in the paint. You don't want them to put no help, because then they're literally not going to help you at all if you ever get burnt. But if you put it to automatic, they will always help every single time, and they will be in the perfect spot to get the steal in the lane. If say someone beats you, they're gonna step up, boom, stop. Example, say Kyrie Irving has the ball and I'm guarding him as Lonzo Ball. Say I'm the Lakers. Okay, Kyrie beats Lonzo Ball. The 4-man will step up to help stop Kyrie Irving from scoring. Now who's open? The 4-man. So now the 5-man will literally leave his man to guard the 4-man in order to get the steal, because most likely that's where he's going to try to pass the ball anyway, because that's who's going to be open. That's why you do the 4 and 5 to set to automatic for the drive help rules and the screen help rules. Now, the only person I do want you to put help with rotation on for your drive help rules is for the Kobe Bryants, the Kevin Durant's, the Stephen Curry's, anybody that can drive to the basket that's an ISO player, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, Giannis, players like that, the ISO players. Those are the only people you want to put your drive help rules to help with no rotation. Only players, because those are the ones that's kind of harder to guard man to man. So yeah, that's the only thing I have for that. Now I usually do put extended pressure on 4-point guards, reason being because a lot of people get into a rush when they have that extended pressure on. So that is more personal preference for you to figure out if you want to do that, because not every player is bad enough to fall into the trap of trying to speed up their offense. A couple of things I want you guys to realize from some of these clips. The way you play defense is like the best way, in my opinion, with these defensive settings. Plus, whenever someone gets on a fast break, always foul them. Foul them. The best way to foul is spamming the X button and spamming the square button. That way you will never ever get a clear path foul. Even if they're in front of you, if you do a reaching foul, you'll never get a clear path foul whenever you spam the X button or the square button to get a steal. So that's the best way. Even if someone's ahead of you and it's clearly a clear path, spam the reach in button, you'll never get a clear path. But if they get a fast break where someone is ahead of you, go ahead and do the hold the select button, or I think I don't know what it is on the PlayStation, but on the Xbox, you hold the back button and they do the automatic foul. They just wrap them up, the intentional foul. Do that every fast break. That way, you'll never lose because of fast break points. A lot of people only can score off of pick and rolls, fast break points. Literally, that is it. 90% of 2K players only score off of fast break and pick and rolls. If you shut those two things down, they're gonna have to beat you with an offense. Now, if you start doing that, maybe they start doing it back to you, so you will have to learn how to work in offense. But you know, that's what you got me for. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that like button down below, and I got you guys. I'm going to show you how to play on ball defense. I'm going to show you guys how to run an offense. Just make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Now without further ado, I know this has been a long video, but everything will be worth it in the end. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.